AAD376 animation 1. What I have done is I jumped forward a little bit. I've put the following pomegranate twice in my Premiere file, and I'll just show you that real quick. So you just kind of see that it's falling twice. Kind of give the idea that it's falling a lot. So I went back to After Effects and I opened up this character that I was working on, and I put a 3D camera in it. It's just so I can move it around. The only thing is that you'll find that if you start playing around with rotations and things like that, it gets really tricky. So you can use a 3D camera with 2D layers. It may sound kind of weird, but what that does is that using a 3D camera with 2D layers will sometimes it'll lock down certain rotations. So in other words, it'll keep all your things just rotate in your 2D. It'll just rotate in the Z, and that's it. So what I've done here is that I've kind of kept my guy. I'm basically moved the work area so that it'll to see how, and probably a little fast, but I don't really mind. And then what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go here and I haven't done anything with the with keyframing my pomegranate, and I'm going to scale it just a little bit more, so it's just kind of small. And haven't done anything yet with the rotation, but we'll do that in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take and make 3 little scenes that will make this pomegranate sort of start coming alive. It's going to fall in the hand of this character, and the character is going to breathe life into it, and then it's going to start spinning, and it will lift out of the character. Honestly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 different saves of this this piece. I'm not going to try to do it all in one shot. So what I'm going to do is that at this point, what I want to do is that at this where am I at? I'm at like 8:19. I want the pomegranate to be in his hand. And I'm going to move it forward a little bit. And I'm also going to move the pomegranate forward a little bit just to be in the sequence. So I'm now going to do position, because we now know what he's doing. And so basically, really, I want the pomegranate to be in its hand at about 9 seconds. But let's see here. Let's just see what happens. I'll do position here. Go down here. Go down to about 9 seconds. And I'm actually going to take that back to 2D as well. And then let's just take the Y down. Oh, that's going to be a lot. I'm going to just key it in. Minus 1,000. Ooh, that's crazy. Minus 1,500. That's still not enough. Let's just say 1800. And then, well, we can scrub the rest of that in place. There we go. Set a keyframe. So now what we have is aha, you know what? I have a problem because I did all this in the in the pomegranate stuff here. So let's just go back to composition 1, and let's just close that. And yeah, that's a bit of a problem. It's going off screen within its okay. Right. Let's see how that works. No rotation, no nothing. Let's go back. And let's see if, okay, we've stabilized the pomegranate. So what we need to do is that we'll just take the pomegranate and do it here. Take the, this will be the initial position. Which will be off screen. We'll go down here to about 9 seconds. And then we'll just take pomegranate and have it fall here. The only thing that's kind of an interesting thing is that, remember, we need to have it have the layer be under the right hand. Okay, so let's see how that works. That little wave of the hand, not exactly sure if I'm real happy with it, but that's okay. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure that the head is like that at the end. Okay. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to take this null camera and I'm going to do can I do this? May not be able to do this. Well, what I can do is that I can do all my stuff. Sorry, this is going to get really tricky. Is that I can do all my stuff in 2D that I need to do. Now turn it into 3D, and now I can move the camera around. Okay, so let's just say that I had my fun getting everything done in 2D, and oops, and I'll just make sure nothing is selected, and I'll just I'll zoom in. I'll give it like 4,000. That's too much. Okay. So I'm going to change the X and the Y. And my Z is a bit too close. Get my Y set up here. My Z's in a bit too much. Just get my Z out just a little bit so you can kind of see the hand. Set position. And I'll go halfway here. In that I want to kind of have the X. So the pomegranate is centered. And then what I want to do is that I want to go back here and just zoom in just a little bit. And then go in here and then zoom in a lot. Okay. So that's basically what's going on here. Here's this, I brought in these two parts here. And let's just see how it looks. It's about 6-7 seconds, probably too fast. No, it's all right, not too bad. It's a little slow for my meaning, but that's okay. We can actually speed all that up in Premiere, actually. So that'll be okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop that. And yeah, I know on my machine After Effects lags too. Don't worry about it. Come on. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to export this out. Actually, there's one other thing I want to do too. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. So let's get back here to composition 1. Okay. go back to edits. Because I lost my workspace. Okay. And then the one thing that I kind of forgot here is that I still kind of want that background. So let me just, oh, it should be there. No, it's actually there, so we should be fine. Okay. So there we go. And that's it. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll export this to the media queue. And then we'll just put this in our After Effects. In our Premiere. And then I think the thing that I'm going to wind up doing is that I think I'm going to find a little piece of clip art for wind. I'm going to have it kind of like look like it's kind of going out of the mouth of the thing. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have the pomegranate start rotating and moving up. And then the thing is that I'm going to make a new I'm going to make a new composition actually of the pomegranate, but with all of the elements in it moving. So it's a little cheap, but that's okay. So that's loading up. Let me go out here and see if I can find some, let's see here, wind. I don't know, I have a very specific aesthetic, so I'm not satisfied with just whatever, you know. That's almost what I want. I mean, thinking maybe drawing it, but I'm just under a little bit of time constraint. You know what? That's not too bad. Let's go back up here. There's something here that was kind of nice. But the one thing with it is that actually that's not bad. Let's grab that. And actually, I'm going to pin that too. You're going to hate me. So I'm going to move this forward. I'm going to just let's see here. I think I kind of need to save that clip art. Okay, I'll just call it wind. And let's just bring it in. Import file 376. Wind. And then let's just bring it on top here. And just do a few things like rotate it. Move it. And okay, the one thing we definitely want to do though is we definitely want to take that center rotation and move it. And I need to know where it is first. Let me just move the thing first and see where that center rotation is. Okay. Because the center of rotation is going to need to be, let's just rotate it for a second, see where it rotates. Seems to rotate in the center. Well, I won't worry so much about it. So let's just bring it back over here. Rotate just a little bit. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this wind, do position, scale, rotation. So at this point, I'm going to take the scale down. And I'm just going to do and of course, don't worry, the pomegranate kind of goes away, but it'll I'll keep it back here. I'll bring it back. So the wind scales up. And by the way, I'm going to bring this pomegranate back over here so it's back on. And the one thing I am going to do is that I'm going to get rid of its end scale so it's all there. So let's go back here. So okay, that's all right. And then what I'm going to do here at this point, I'm going to have the pomegranate I think let's talk about the Z rotation. Ooh, okay, I'm not going to worry about that so much. Yeah, the issue here is that the center rotation on this is just way up there. So I can zoom back and let me see if I can zoom back and I can find it. Let's go here, click on this, and then let's just maybe see if we can take the anchor point down to 0, 0, 0. That didn't do me a lot of good, actually. Um, well, I'm not going to worry about it. Fit it. And I'm going to just have the pomegranate shake just a little bit. Let's see here. It'll, okay. By the way, for its initial position, let's just put that in there. It's just sort of assumed. So I got to move this here. I'm just going to give it just a whole bunch of little shakes. Take it up here. And then okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens there. Okay. And then a couple things I'm going to do. Pomegranate's not too bad. Okay. Doesn't shake quite enough for me, but let's go back to the wind. Well, let's get that taken care of. And then let's go here, and then I'm going to do a couple things with it. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take since it's transparent, it only deals with stuff that isn't transparent. And gotta have something that's okay. So let's just open up this mesh and deformations. I've got about 6 pins in here. And actually, I don't need to move them all, but I'm just gonna play around with them. And the other thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to And then from here to here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to close all this deformation stuff, and then I'm going to set opacity. And then I'm going to have the opacity fade to nothing. And then in the beginning here, in this beginning of this move where we started, actually I'm going to have the opacity start at nothing as well. And then have it go out to 100%. So let's just move back here, do that, and then take that down to nothing, and then watch what happens. So let's put that in the queue. And do a save as on this, and I'm just gonna, just so that it so it doesn't confuse itself, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna call it breath 1. I'm gonna call it breath 1. So we should be fine. Let's see here, do that one. And that'll show our stuff here. Okay. And okay. Probably because of the puppeting, it's taking a little bit longer. So then what we'll do is we'll go over into Premiere and put these two things in, and then really all I have to do is that I just have to start showing the pomegranate coming to life and having the rays of the sun coming out, and then having it then, basically being the light of the tree of the light, tree of life. So that shouldn't be too bad. The first one, it will be real easy. Just start getting things rotating, and then have the sunburst coming out from under it, and that'll be really cool. And then the thing is that, and then, so there's only like maybe three clips to go, really. So let's go over here in Premiere. I might be running about 40. I might actually run about 40 seconds. So we'll see. And let's bring these two in. See how they do. Yep. Okay. So that's 9 seconds. But remember, we wanted that a little bit faster. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to do a speed and duration on that one, and I'm gonna take it down to about maybe 6 seconds. And remember, I'll do 12 frames. Remember, we're doing this in frames. We're not doing in points of seconds, so it would be 6.5 seconds. But it'd be, and then the other thing I like is I like optical flow. So let's do that. That shortens that up a little bit. And then let's put the breath in. Let's see how. It's a little long too. So actually, I'd almost like that to be 200% faster. So, Let's go in there and do a speed and duration as well. And I'll do it maybe 175%. And do it optical flow. Do cross dissolve. And that's fine. Don't worry about that. And okay. So, not too bad. All right, I'm going to save this. And then we'll go back to the pomegranate. And then what I'll do is that I'm going to start from nothing, and I'm going to do a gradual spinning of the. I'm going to do a slow spin, and I'm going to do a gradual spin of the pomegranate and have it go for about a minute, just so I can work with it. And it's going to go. This could be a long shot, actually. It's going to go up. And then I'm going to have this kind of like this sunburst come out from behind it. And then what will happen is that what happens is that it'll become the sun for the entire scene. The background will fill the entire scene, and it'll take over that black and that grayscale thing, and it'll the world will sort of start coming to life. So it won't completely solve everything, but it won't completely bring the world completely to life, but it'll say that there is color and life coming to the world. So that'll be kind of nice. So all right, so actually I'm at 35 seconds. So save this out. I'm going to open up open something recently, and actually I'll just bring this and see if there's, guess what, there's actually just a pomegranate there's just a pomegranate animation, sequence. So I'm gonna save this off again as something different. And so you can see this is all happening at different rates. So I'm not going to worry about a lot of things here, but what I'm going to do is that actually, I know what I'm going to. I know what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have each of these go and rotate. But what I'm going to do is that, this thing called Easy Ease. This ease thing. I'm gonna ease transformation so that it starts rotating. So what I'm going to do here is that here's inner circle 1. There's going to be, and actually everything is that everything I'm just going to start off on a Z rotation of whatever, and then see here. Yep, that's what that is. So I'm going to go from here out to here, and I'm going to say maybe 10 times 359, because when you do 360, that's like saying 0. But see, the thing that happens immediately is that it just starts doing stuff. So it starts as if it starts its rate of rotation. I'm going to do this 20. It starts its rate of rotation in what they call a linear format. And that isn't something I want. So what I'm going to do is that I want this thing to, see here, I want the curve here to ease. See? So watch what happens when I do this. So I'm actually going to want to do this actually, this isn't going to be a whole minute, so I'm just going to stop this. I'm not going to worry about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the graph editor here, and I'm going to take this. Let's just take this to about 15 seconds and see what happens. So it's rotating a bit much, but that's okay. I'm going to go out here to the keyframe, and I'm going to take it to 10. And that's great. So really, guess what I can do? I can take this Z rotation. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to do this. And remember, there's this thing here. But what I want to do go to inner 3. And I want to, okay, the Z rotation, and paste these in and just see what happens. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted to have happen. And then there's this outer piece here. And I want to do the same thing. Z rotation, paste that. Now, okay, let's just see how that's working. But you know what? I didn't get working with it with this inner 3. Inner 4, inner 3. Inner 4. Nope, I want this inner 3. And just 1 second. Okay, so this 3, let's take a look and see. Yeah, it should be there. Oh, wait a second, I didn't paste the keyframes. Okay, so all this, yep. So let's go to, now watch and see if I can do this. See, I did all this effort, you know, with this easing and all this stuff. So that's a circle inner 1. Okay, a circle inner 2. Okay. So watch what happens. I think I'm going to be able to do a trick. So it says -5. Nope. Let me do -5 of, let's just say, okay, let's just say 5 of -359. That's a weird one. Okay. Trying to get this thing to go backwards. Okay. Okay. So -10. Let's go back here. Okay, that's getting it. That's kind of interesting. And then I'm going to say, scrub that down a little bit. Okay, so in this case, I've got 2 keyframes here. So, okay, so this is going to go a little slower. Let's take a look at how it looks in the, okay, it's eased, not a problem. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take these keyframes and apply these to this other one that we didn't have rotating. So this will be, I think it's inner 4. Yep. And also the other thing is that remember that like with a with layers, even if it's transparent, it still has a layer over it. So if you click on that, it'll and yep. And actually, I want to take this keyframe back to 0 and okay. And then, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this pomegranate And I'm going to take it into a new composition. And I'm going to let it expand and start rotating. I'm just going to do a scale and a move on it. So that'll be it. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do it again in another composition, and then I'm going to start putting a big sunburst behind it. So let's do that. Let's make a new composition. I'm just say and 10 seconds is fine with me. I don't need any more than that. And then I'm going to take the pomegranate. I'm going to bring it in here. And you can see as this starts going, it's, you know, the pomegranate stuff is already happening. So all we need to do is I'm actually going to fade this in. And I'm just going to do scale, opacity, position. And after about, I'm going to do this 4 seconds, try to make it a little bit dynamic. Take this up. So the center's big. And let's go down and do the scale. I'm going to take the scale down to 20%. And since it's linked, that's all right. Actually, I'll take the position down because I really kind of want it to be in the center. I just want it to be a little bit, that's here, hang on, that's all right. Okay. And let's bring it up here to the next keyframe on position. Scale it up. To, let's see here. Let's take it to 70. And that's all right. And then go back to the first keyframe. Have the opacity, and then just really take it out to about half a second. Put in another keyframe. Go back. Take the opacity down to nothing. And let's see what we've got. Okay. Actually, what I would like to do is I would like to take that first position on the Y and really take that first position on the Y, take it off screen. And then take that second position, and I think I'd also like to take that up too. Okay. All right, I'm ready to render that. Let's put it out in the queue. That was pretty fast. And that's going to take about 10 seconds to render. And let's import. Yeah, where did that go? Animation Project 1 AME, Pomengranate start. So let's bring that in. Just go back out here to oh, okay, you know what? Huh, okay. It wasn't done. Okay. Let's bring it into our project. I was getting a little ahead of myself. Okay. Well, you know what? I also need. I guess I need that. I guess I need that background too. So let me bring in that background. Put it underneath. Okay. Let's re-render that. So, you know, some of you were wondering, and I was seeing out on your conversation. Let's see here. Okay, rising. I saw in some of you were wondering why suddenly everything was in black. Well, the thing is that it will default to your composition background color unless you put something underneath it, and half of the time you're making it black. Or you can do what they put in a color matte. You can do new layer color matte, or you can just bring in a background from a Photoshop. So, and that's what I did. So we'll wind up doing this, and this will be fine. And it's going to take about another 2-3 seconds. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to end this part of the tutorial, just because it's getting a bit long. And what I'll do is that I'll just I'll finish things up. All right, and then that's great. We just edit that down to about there. That's cool. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at what we've got so far. And then I'll stop this. And then I'll do some preparation, and then we'll finish up. Probably should move this head a little bit. and there we go. So not too bad. A couple little errors that you know, I'd probably take a couple points off for me, but that's all right. So at this point, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to stop this part of the tutorial because it's just going a little long. And then I'll finish up, I'll just finish up in just a few minutes.